estate sales. He was there with his girlfriend. His wife was at home.
All right, we are live. So we're gonna talk about this gangbang. The gangbang at the wood store.
Oh, we're live. Give me a warning before we go live. Oh my god.
Sit on my face and let my lips embrace you. I sit in your face and tell you I love you too. I love to hear you more than because when I'm between your thighs, you blow me away. Sit on my face and let my lips embrace you. There you go, introduction.
Ooh, what are you doing with your lips?
You know, yesterday was I got big balls, and tonight it is. Oh, I don't know the name of that song, but that's the song. That's the theme song for tonight. Yesterday,
oh, you guys are gonna like these. Look what I have to read with tonight.
Ooh.
Look what I have to read with. Okay, these are the backs of the cards, but look, it's the back, not the front with the picture.
So it's holographic.
No, they're all different colors. They're all different. The backs are different and the fronts are different.
I need to go live with Sarah for like a month so I can like use her tarot cards to do readings. Just so I can play with them. Giggity.
And they're Celtic. It's a Celtic shaman's deck. So it's a treat.
Ooh, nice.
I pulled it out.
Hey Matt, and what dimension you're in? You have entered into the Sacred Twilight dimension.
We are someplace unusual today.
Astrological delight. Instead of afternoon delight, it's the astrological delight.
It's the
and we were drinking Long Island iced before I got on here.
Yeah, we were talking about a gangbang at a wood store.
What about wood store? No, we were talking about a handy Andy.
And a gangbang at a wood store.
Okay, there's a gangbang at wood store. Okay, anyway, if you're here and you like us, share out because you know we're here. Let me share out. Oh, who's sharing where? So we all don't share in the same place.
I'm gonna share to I'm gonna share to the outside groups. If you guys would share to beginners, Rose's group, Jules' group.
I'll share to beginners.
And then I'll share to Purple Nymphs group.
Okay.
And
I don't want to share. I'm stingy.
Okay, fine. You don't have to share. Just make sure you give back as much as you take.
I'll try.
That's another giggity.
Jules, do you want to share to your group or you want me to?
No, I really don't.
You want me to?
I don't want to mess around and like get kicked out and
by the owner.
I'll do it. I'll share to your group for you.
You gonna kick me out?
No, I'll share in your group for you. You're still here.
Oh, what the hell did I do with it? God damn it! You know, I need supervision at all times.
Oh,
I need an adult.
You guys back from the orgy.
Yeah.
You sure there's not something you're not telling us?
Nope.
What the fuck? All right. I swear to God, I've only had half a beer. I swear.
I had a couple Long Island iced teas.
Oh my God, those are yummy. I wish I had one right now.
And they made it like super cold, so I was kind of
I want to talk about an aspect, and Andrea and Matt's share tonight, so I'm glad that Andrea is here. And you know,
okay. Well, let me finish sharing out first, and then we will.
Yep. So we just finished sharing out. Shane, I wanted to add you to my revolution.
He said okay. He was in the car when I was playing your message.
Okay, I'm throwing you into the lion's den now, so you got to hold your own in there because it's a bunch of freaks. And I'm gonna do it from my phone. I don't know. Fuck it.
Wait, where else am I supposed to share to?
Will you share to Mystical Vibrations?
Oh, you did soulfully? Okay, Matt, then I'll just delete mine.
I was gonna say somebody's got to delete one. We don't need two of them.
I'll delete mine. I just did it. I just did it. Okay, where else are we sharing to? I can't stay up late. Gotta work.
Revolution page.
Work smart. Go away. Good thing I'll help drive the crazy train. Well, somebody other than me better drive it. It's not very well driven by a blind lady. What are you laughing at?
Because it's funny.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, where else am I supposed to share at? Did I share it in the place that I'm supposed to?
I think we're pretty sure we're good. I'm still sharing out, but I'm doing
Oh,
something.
wait, I have people I was supposed to send this to. Somebody thought,
I may.
Oops, my bad. God damn it. I swear I've only had half a beer.
Hi, Rose.
I don't believe you.
I swear. Half a beer.
I don't believe you.
Should drink more. Okay. And
Okay.
what the fuck am I doing? Oh my god, I'm trying to call myself. Why am I trying to call myself?
Yeah.
I literally started a room and called myself. Who the fuck does that?
I did that too because Facebook has a button right in the way. Okay. Now we're here. Okay. Jewel, Sarah, Purple, Mel. Hi, Mary. Hey, Rose. Oh, I hope you had a nice birthday. I posted some photographs. Where'd you post them at? I didn't see them. I like to see pictures. Do, 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 do. Andrea's here. Too. I think I forgot her. Hi, Bobby.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna have the link.
And of course, Matt is here, our #1 fan. Okay.
#1 fan.
Hi, Bobby.
Which Bobby is it? We got a lot of Bobbies. Is it
Bobby.
or Sarah's
My
Bobby?
Bobby.
Oh, Sarah's
My Bobby with a little dog.
With the little dog.
Let's see. On my page, and I'll have to look at it. Facebook only shows me like a few select things on people's walls. It doesn't show me all of them, and so I have to go and hunt for them. And I have so many friends that I forget who I'm looking for. And I just want them all to come up on my wall like they used to, but stupid Facebook. I hope it was good, Rose. I hope you had a good day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rose.
Happy birthday
to you.
Oh, that's like.
Oh, sorry. Oh, now I got beginners. Okay.
I got beginners. I already did it.
All right, I'm trying mystical illuminations and to the divine intuitive group, and then I should be good.
I know, but I have too many people to mark as see first.
And I did in private messenger as well.
I want to see everybody first because I love everybody, but you know, Facebook doesn't let me do that. Anyway, I am going to use my Celtic Shaman deck tonight, so we shall see how that goes. And I love this deck because every card on the, let me see if I can do this. Every card, this is the back of like the front of every card. They're all different, of course, but the back of all these cards are different too. You know how normally tarot cards have like the same back? These ones don't. They all have like the same basic back, but they're all like different colors. So I love it. I really like the energy of this deck. So we shall see how it goes.
All right, and tonight's topic, we're just gonna, it's kind of just leaving it open. Of course, you know, it's supposed to be, you know,
Everybody,
hold
on. Is anybody else having a problem hearing us? Bobby says that he can't hear us.
No. Go back out and come back in, Bobby.
Okay, yep. Rose says she can hear. Okay. All right, you're good. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, it's have it as astrological delight, because we were talking sex astrology, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, it could be anything outside of astrology. Just it's basically leaving it open to anything sexually related to any correlation to anything. So if there's anything in like specific, just let us know, and we are doing relationship compatibility, those type of readings, and then some too. I mean, if it's outside of anything sexual, that's fine as well. We're not going to just hold it just to that. So.
Us, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to talk about something, jot it down, and we'll get to
We're not
it.
talking about poop. No poop talks tonight.
No what talks?
Poop talks.
Just to put a thing out, but it is 18 plus, just so everyone knows.
And Rebecca, are you doing? You said you're going to do mediumship readings tonight.
Who is?
Yes.
Yeah. So and that's awesome. Yeah, she's.
Beck's going to do mediumship.
Yeah.
Oh, this should be fun. I usually play off of her, so should be fun. So Pluto being on Moon is a good thing, right? Is a good thing tonight. Well, I suppose that depends on how you look at Pluto.
Yeah, and the Pluto and the Moon is not on Pluto. And you have Moon on Pluto in your natal chart, and so does Andrea, because the Moon right now is in Scorpio, and Pluto right now is in Capricorn. So when I talk, we also have Laura, who also has Moon conjunct Pluto. It's got a little mixture of good and bad, I guess. I mean, I don't look at things as good or bad. I look at things for as it is.
Well, the important thing to, I guess, keep in mind when you're doing anything in astrology, things always change, and they change to make us more balanced. So when we are missing one aspect of something in our lives, in our astrology chart or whatever, the next cycle, the next time things change, you usually gain what we didn't have from the previous cycle.
And she's right. That's what it is. It's a cycle of changes, a cycle of leveling up and learning and advancing, to that next level of consciousness and awareness and being and perspective. Yes, your natal chart will always be your natal chart, but you don't stay a baby. You don't stay in the natal stage. That's why we have progress charts and solar return charts, because it's yes, that's just like the main blueprint, but it's the blueprints that you're building on in your life.
Okay, we'll get to everybody's questions and everybody's things. Matt says, Mel, have you heard of a correlation between high sexual energy and having more healing potential also? Well, I'll answer that question before.
I can answer that question, actually. That's actually one of my. Let me step into my ego for a minute here. Let me pull up my Leo that's in my third house, where the ego is. Yes, that's actually one thing that I could pick up on somebody right away. Like when it comes to energy, is I can tell right away if somebody has a lot of pure sexual energy and what level of type of sexual energy they have. And people that have exalted out sexual energy usually are some of the best fucking healers.
So my question for that, to go off of that, would be, if somebody knows that they have this energy, would now, with everything being where it's at astrologically, be a good time to work on enhancing that? And if so, how?
Well, being the Moon is in Scorpio, and Scorpio rules over sexual energy, the best way of going about it is getting with somebody who is pretty much a master in energy work. I think that it's always good to have a mentor, teacher, something, somebody to help guide you, so you don't fuck your shit up. But get with somebody, depending. Because there's so many different ways of doing energy work and healing work, and each person is different. So not everybody learns the same, not everybody works with energy the same, and that same thing goes with sexual energy. Have you noticed like people that work in like massage parlors? A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do have all that extra, exalted out sexual energy, and they channel it, and they channel it into massage, or like people that are Reiki healers and stuff like that have the exalted sexual energy. They take that energy and they alchemize it to use it for healing. And so it's going to be different for each person, but anytime is a good time to work with it when you know that you have that sexual energy, because there's so many different ways you can heal with sexual energy outside of having sex. But it's just good to know. But some people have really low levels of it, and just because somebody has a low level of it doesn't mean they can't work it up. But there are just certain individuals that just have it. It's just like a little extra oomph onto the energy of themselves. And I think
That's interesting. I actually considered becoming a massage therapist.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually thinking about getting my license in it.
Yeah, I'm really good with it. Like if I do it, a lot of people say that I'm really good with it, and if I got training with it, yeah.
Well, because you have really high exalted out sexual energy yourself. That's like the very first thing that I picked up on you when I got a whiff of your energy.
Stop telling my secrets.
See, for me,
oh, Rebecca's got it too.
For me, my exalted energy, I wouldn't necessarily see. For me, massaging is not my type of healing. My healing are my words. So I can become very, very healing with my words. I've just noticed that recently. Someone brought it to my attention. Thank you, Matt. So I've realized now that my sexual energy comes out in my words. I get excited and I get passionate about something that I'm talking about. So that's my over sexual energy that I'm not using somewhere else.
That's your Gemini.
And you'll notice
first house right there.
That's right. So you'll know my heightened sense and why I'm trying to get excess energy out, because all of a sudden my demeanor, I can go from, hello, my name's Rebecca, how are you? Have you heard about the... So what happens is that my energy will change, and you'll notice that within my life, and you'll notice that I'm dispelling a lot of sexual energy when I get excited, when I seem like I'm getting loud, or when I seem like I might be going a little bit over the top. That's me releasing that extra sexual energy.
So how would you compare the sexual energy that you're talking about to something as, I suppose, basic as like passion?
Okay. For me, sexual energy comes from my sexual energy will come from my root and all the way up. My passion comes from here in the middle. My heart, my spleen, in there. So for me, I know it's sexual energy because I can feel where that energy is coming from through the body, right? Now, you talk about lust and a healing of lust, that'll come from the head. Okay, someone who says they're a healer and they can do it through sexual energy but isn't a healer, that is the lust talking about wanting to heal through sexual energy. So there is the branches that can come off sexual energy and passion, yes, they can be divine nearly closely, but passion and sexual energy then can be unked, reversed to the back, and then put back down through the root. So
yeah,
what you're doing
there, nice way to put that. Very nice way to put that.
So you're recycling this energy, right? And if it's a good energy, you'll continue it it'll be there for a long time. Now, in a sexual act, to use sexual energy and arc that is, to me, the best explanation is almost like the both of you orgasming at the same time, and then you realizing it in that moment, and you are arcing that energy to come back through to sustain it. So if you can be in that level of heightened state for longer than the 3 minutes that you're coming, you are arcing that energy, right, to keep going and going and going. And you could stay in that state for a very long time if the both of you are agreeing on that energy. Now, frustration energy, again, different. You can also use sexual energy, a frustration of sexual energy, yes, okay, and you can admit that into something more negative. That will push you to be a little bit more narky because it's a frustration of sexual energy. See, you've got depths. What depth are you in? Are you in a heightened state of sexual energy where you're using it because your root chakra is fully in tuned and you're bringing it all the way up? So you are literally releasing sexual energy from down there. Or is it an energy you're releasing from the heart? Is it from your solar plexus? See, so for me, sexual energy and reusing it and doing it has different branches. There's not just one definitive thing of how to use sexual energy, dispel it, and then bring it back and use it again. This year.
Oh, that excellent. Thank you, Rebecca. Also, too, I'm glad that you touched base on that narky energy, because there's a lot of people that, well, I'm not saying a lot, but there's people out there that, say that, they can do sexual healing or sexual energy healing, and a lot of times, like if your creeper alert goes off, pay attention to your creeper alert, because there's a lot of creepers out there that will,
Yeah, once someone knows that they have that sexual energy and how that they can use it and manipulate it for other people, yes, absolutely, they are out there and they know and are fully aware of it. But again, there are some people that aren't. So it comes down to you trusting your gut, knowing what the energy is and registering it. Now, if you don't know, then take it on board and go, all right, I haven't felt this before. What could that possibly be? Okay, so if you know what this energy is and what this energy is and what this energy is and what this energy is, then you can literally discern that it's not that, it's not that. What is this? This is new. Okay, when a narc uses sexual energy, it's the charm. It's the every word you want to hear. It's the, I can fix all your problems. Come with me, and that is a more of a, I will take from you and I will give you nothing. Right. And that's what narcs do, because we've got to make them feel that they're in control. So they'll use a sexual energy to their advantage and they know that they're doing it.
I don't know that they all know that they're doing it, but I think I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. Now, did you guys address Matt's inquiry on the tantric?
That's not something that I have very good knowledge on, but what I can say is
breath work.
That everybody has natural tantric. If you just tap in, everybody has it.
It's in everybody's natal chart. Just some people have good aspects to it. Some people have strong conjunctions to it, and some people just have weak aspects to it. But yes, that's something that every human is capable of. But when it comes to tantric, this is where Bree would be really good at, because she's pretty knowledgeable in that area. But tantric, that's a lot of breathing, because like when you're breathing, when you take those deep breaths in, at the time of an orgasm, it enhances and it intensifies your orgasm.
That's not correct. Yes. Tantric energy is moving. Whenever you do anything in tantric, it's moving in unison with everything around you. So when you are doing tantric magic or tantric healing, you're taking everything around you and you're moving as one. You become one with everything around you. You take your breath, you take your movements, and it's one fluid motion. That's what tantric is. So if you're having tantric sex, you're moving in unison with your partner. So your partner moves and you move. It's the same thing with healing. If you're healing somebody in a tantric style, you move with the participant that you're healing. That's why a lot of people that have that have a lot of sexual energy are good healers, because it works on a similar vibration.
I would agree along the lines of what Sarah's saying. It's more of like a mirror effect, like almost like a perfect reciprocation.
Almost like a salsa dance.
Yeah. Well, what I've had learned with the tantric, it starts with the breath. That's the foundation that you start with if you're trying to do any type of tantric type work, like sexually for yourself, when it comes to orgasms and
That's because with any type of tantric work, you have to first learn self-control. Because if you don't have self-control, you can't control what's in your environment, and you can't control how you move and how you interact.
This doesn't wash with me, because tantric sex is energy, not only energy and breath. Okay, so to movement as one, all right, you can have a mirror image, or you don't have to have a mirror image. So everything is breath. Everything is life has a breath, which means movement. Movement has always been something that goes forward. Tantric is not just, it's not just a meditation state of level of sexual energy. Tantric is all energy, but you include sexual energy in tantric, because the Vedas used tantric for everything. It wasn't just sexual energy.
Right.
That was my point. It's actually,
I was talking sexual tantric, and that category. But yes, when it comes to tantric in general, it's more than just sex.
Yes, it's everything all into one and moving it in a fluid motion. It actually comes from the Buddhist and Hindu tradition.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
The actual term. I'm just reading through the comments.
I'm still learning. Yeah, but sexual energy, I don't want it to be defined as one thing. Sexual energy is a lot of things. I mean, I can, I know people that can look at a particular fruit and absolutely come on the spot. A sexual energy, because she recognizes that as a figure of something else, as a phallic symbol. Okay,
that's so with that sensual energy to them.
Yeah, but it's using their sexual energy for themselves. That they're keeping that to themselves, and so they re-energize themselves doing it that way with the visual imagery. That is why pornographic things are so bad, because we are such visual people. So they get this bad idea. They're all actors who get paid to do this. And these young kids that are watching porno as such is not the right way to teach any sexual energy. So at what point do we start saying that having sexual energy within yourself? I mean, at one point in time, masturbating was bad, but masturbating actually is the best thing for you because it's a release. So, we've got these stigmas that are still happening to today, all because of an industry that is so controlled by media.
No, I like that you touched base on that with the whole sexual thing, because the thing is, like, a lot of people like start to focal point it into just like narrow little boxes. But when somebody has high sexual energy, doesn't necessarily mean that person is also highly sexual themselves. Because I have met people who have high sexual energy and they're not highly sexual people. For example, Sarah is one of them. She's got a level of sexual energy to her, but she's not one of those people that are like highly like
has to find it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are some people that channel that sexual energy into something different. They can channel it to creativity, into their work, or into other things. So it's not just defined into whole like sex, like sexual stuff, because it's like me and Rebecca were speaking earlier, like when it comes to sexual energy, it's not just sexual energy, it's just energy. So we don't want to put it in this little box of just sexual, because there's other things that can be considered sexual that are not normally looked at as sexual, because to me, sexual energy or anything sexual, it's two energies meeting together. That's two things combining.
The movement, the flow. That's right. And that's where tantric comes in, because when you learn to be with someone, as you said, you will move and flow with them. But even if that is not a mirror, they can turn and flow and move this way with you, or they can bring that energy around full circle and float with you. So what we've got to understand is that all energy can be encompassing of all things. It doesn't necessarily.
I don't think that it's a mirror in the sense that you are literally mirroring to the point where it's the exact same. It's more on the level of energy. You're looking at it as energy, so the vibrations are very, very, very similar.
Yes, but you could be highly sexual. You can be so highly sexual, but your vibration could be way off.
That's true.
The creep
but then you wouldn't be moving in a tantric manner.
Right. If your vibration is off and you're not to that level, you're not moving. You know what I mean? Like, think about it in terms of like, if vibration's really low, then it's just kind of humming there.
And that could be
really, really slow and low. But if it's way up there, then it's like, bzzz, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like, you kind of have to meet your partner, particularly in the sexual aspect.
But some partners want you to bring them up from that low vibration. So they hang on to it, hoping that you will take them up with them, knowing that they can't achieve that.
Right, but that's not tantric energy until they get to that same point as you. That's not tantric sex until they get to that same point as you. When you match vibrational frequency and you're able to do that onking that you were talking about before, and it's on the same frequency, because if you can't do it if it's not on the same frequency. So when you get to that point and you bring your partner up, or your partner brings you up, that's when it becomes. That's the difference between just a sexual encounter and tantric sex. It would be the same thing with any type of tantric practice. Tantric isn't just sex. You can use tantric in everyday life.
Helen,
but as a healing.
If you guys look into the comments, Helen said, asked a question. The difference between sensual and sexual. Yes, there's a big difference between somebody having passionate energy.
She said, isn't that? She said, isn't that the difference between sexual energy and sensual? And yes, it is.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always going to be defining moments of different emotions that come with energies. Okay, but if I'm a healer and I've got so much sexual energy and the person I am healing is not on my vibration, I am not doing a tantric healing.
Right. Even until you bring that person up to your level.
That person has to be willing to be brought up too. Yeah.
Or you bring yourself down to that person's level.
Now, this is where I was getting at. Thank you. So what will happen is you'll have to have this medium of, if you're a tantric person that is very good at your tantric breathing and being able to control your tantra, right, or tantric, whatever you want to call it, right, you should be able then to control yourself to be able to bring, if this person can only go so high in their vibration, you should have the capacity and the ability to be able to meet them on that vibration. And not lose any of that healing.
That's exactly what I do when I do chakra alignments.
Right. Okay. You know, and I believe that's how it should be. It doesn't mean that everybody's vibration will have to meet at the same height. It just means that everybody has to agree on where to meet in that vibration.
That makes sense.
Now to touch base, she said sexual compatibility. Sexual compatibility is a huge thing because there might be some people that could be compatible in so many different areas of their life, but not have sexual compatibility.
Mm.
Sexual
Definitely.
compatibility also is different than the ability to have a relationship with somebody. Sometimes
That's
you're
not
not
sexual, but
capable
that's
of
sexual
having
energy.
a relationship with somebody, but you are capable of connecting with them on a sexual level.
Without the sex, but you can do that. I mean, I've done that. I can have a relationship that is highly sexual energy, but it doesn't mean I have to touch that person. It doesn't mean that I have to expel that energy on them and want something for them. I can have that sexual energy about them and be quite satisfied knowing within myself that I know where that's coming from.
Okay. Mel, this is a question for you. Penny asked, she wanted her relationship compatibility with a Capricorn cusp. I can't talk. She asked that a while ago. I wrote it down.
Yeah, and I have some stuff that I need to send out to her. I've been working on different little things for everybody. Now, you want to know, like, you want like a card pull, or
Penny?
or generalized? Oh, hold on, I gotta remove one of my twins.
Weren't we going to do all the readings after we finish the discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But if they want to go ahead and ask their
writing
questions
down
now, we can get them noted down. So then when we get to the reading part, we can address it.
Yeah, I'm writing
right.
them down as we go. So if you want a reading and stuff, yeah, she said yes, she wanted a card. So okay, I will. You are on my list, Penny.
Write that down.
And Rose, your mediumship is
you.
there too.
Thank you.
Helen said someone with a very high sexual energy needs that compatibility to maintain a healthy relationship, in my opinion, and I would agree with that.
I definitely fucking agree with that.
Sorry. Say that again. Say that again, please.
Someone with a very high sexual energy needs that compatibility to maintain a healthy relationship. A sexual relationship.
No, I don't agree. I'm sorry. I disagree with that.
All I know is that if somebody can't match my sexual energy or does not even have anything close to my level of sexual energy, I'm not going to want to have a relationship with them because
Well, I mean, I think if they can match that energy on other levels, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Not for me. You got to match that sexual energy.
Like my husband is a very
better.
sexual person. I'm much less sexual than he is, and our relationship is good. I mean, sometimes there's frustration, but there's frustration in every relationship.
That's only because you have 11th house moon and he has an Aquarian moon, so you guys are able to match that through other things. So you guys are cheating to your pumpkin eaters, and you know how to get into alignment when need be because you have a Libra fucking moon. So you're a cheater to your pumpkin eater.
Well,
but someone that has a highly sexual energy. Okay, hang on. I'm going to bring something into this. Someone that has a highly sexual energy. Let's go into BDSM. All right. If you're a dom and you're a submissive and you've chosen this and there's sexual energy within that, then and you can't, it's not about matching sexual energy at that height. I don't agree that Mel, I don't think that you would accept someone if they didn't have your sexual energy. I think you would be curious to find out why their sexual energy is that sexual energy. So for me, when you say
I wouldn't bump into you if you have no sexual energy at all.
I need someone to match my sexual energy, it's almost an insult because to me, sexual energy for everybody is on a different level. It will never be the same. My sexual energy to yours will never be the same. It's mine. It's mine. It's unique to me. So
well, when I say it doesn't have to be matched to mine, but it has to be elevated. It has to be there because some people just have really such low sexual energy. See, and I alchemize a lot of energy through sex. Through actual sex,
yeah,
through physical active sex. So I could never date somebody that's asexual. That would make no sense to me.
Yeah, but what happens if you're their teacher and you're going to bring that height?
Oh no, Melanie doesn't teach. Melanie does not teach. Melanie wants somebody that's already taught.
Well, at that point, it's a different relationship. It's not a sexual relationship. There are different relationships. I'm sorry, but you have to be somewhere around my sexual energy or past.
Yep, same here. Yep. Then we could not have a sexual relationship if your sexual energy, if you have no sexual energy or you have lacking or elementary level type sexual energy, then we're not sexually compatible.
Oh my fucking God, I'm a Mrs. Robinson then, because I'd be
Yes,
so
you
intrigued
are.
to go,
You are so Mrs.
let's
Robinson.
get this fucking sexual energy up. Like,
I am not the teacher. I'd rather be
get
the
in
student
this
than the teacher.
room right now and I'll show you. Like, so for me, that, like, I can't understand that. I can see past that sexual energy and go, oh my God.
Nothing will irritate me more than getting in bed with somebody and then having to show them or tell them or talk them through. I mean, like I take a fucker out of my bed. Like, I actually wouldn't even be in my bed if it came down to it. No, that's it. That's irritating. Oh no. There's a reason why I dated older men when I was younger. I didn't want to have to teach.
I see so much potential though. People that don't have that sexual energy hasn't released it. So to me, I'm here to release it for them. Pull the pin, baby.
So it's possible to do more than one as well. It's just like you have your preferences as well. Like, I would prefer to have a match, but I can do the whole Mrs. Robinson thing too. That's not.
No, sorry, Robinson. I'm the robot screaming, danger, danger.
Is that on a healing level? Is that on a healing level though?
I'm sexually lazy when it comes to that.
Is that on a healing level? Are you prepared to be a Mrs. Robinson to heal?
I mean, I've done it. It's just not something that, for me, is as rewarding as. I mean, it has its rewards, it has its ups for sure. For exactly what it is, but
yeah. But what if you have a student that just keeps flunking? I mean, there's no reward in that.
At some point, you got to have it. Your students got to take responsibility for themselves.
Andrea, that's a lie. Andrea, that's a complete lie. Andrea, you're lying.
Thank you.
You're lying, Andrea.
And that's exactly right. Your students aren't there. They're there to learn. And if they're not learning, then you can't give them any more energy. So you're not doing the job right, or they're not accepting the job. So what happens is that healing with sexual energy has to be a reciprocated thing. It cannot be just a one-sided thing. It has to be reciprocated. And
it's not just healing with sexual. It's not just healing with sexual energy. It's healing with any type of energy. What we're talking about is sexual energy. They're not going to be healed, but energy-wise at all.
So Matt
yes, but what I'm saying is this program is about sexual energy. Sorry, Jill, go.
Matt said, he said, fuck that, that's settling, I'm sorry. But I think in the situation of the Mrs. Robinson, it's not settling, it's committing. And that's what we're talking about when you're in that type of relationship. It's about committing to somebody is lower than you to try to bring them up. And if they're not willing to actually, do their portion of the commitment, then you're wasting your energy, and that's when you move on.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's when you don't commit to a relationship with somebody until you have that. That should be one thing that should be covered before even going into a serious committed relationship with somebody. Is can they hold their own sexually? Or are you willing to do that? I mean, that's like for me that's like a major, like, right there. That's the threshold.
Yeah. Communication is a big thing in sexual energy. If you don't have the communications, you don't know your boundaries, you don't know your strengths, you don't know your weaknesses. There's no point. Okay, so we this communication thing that a lot of these young people are having problems with is you must communicate what you want. I've always said this in every of my life. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Right, and I agree with that, yeah. And sometimes some people can get together and they don't even have to even speak it. It's just like their bodies just naturally have that compatibility where you don't have to speak. But a lot of times, during the acts of sex, you say little things here and there, but communication is huge.
Yeah, but communication doesn't just have to be this. Okay, all right. Communication can be so many more things. I'm such a dirty bird that I can communicate with my eyes, right? I can communicate with my smile. I can communicate with the tone of my voice. And I can communicate with thought. I can just look at you and you know exactly what I am thinking. I am dressing you down. I am dressing you up. I'm imagining what you look like in galoshes. I mean, there's just so many things that can go with this, and sexual energy can be used for so many things that we don't realize our own potential to be able to heal ourselves and those around us. Because it's used wrong.
And sexual energy, when somebody has that heightened sexual energy, they can alchemize and channel that energy into other things besides sex.
That's the thing. When you go back
I agree with Matt as well.
When you go back to the whole narcissist thing, a lot of times they'll get a taste of what it is that they're capable of doing, and they turn it into manipulation, and that is a problem as well.
I'll be Rebecca's
exactly.
paper doll. See, and I want to go back and just address a comment where, like with Andrea. Andrea, you have a moon conjunct your Pluto. You are a Scorpio rising with an 8th house sun and Saturn. No, sex is very important to you because it's how you alchemize out energy, sexual energy. Anybody that has heavy 8th house energy, Scorpio rising or Scorpio energy, or even 12th house energy, that is one way that we alchemize, and we also heal ourselves, not only on a physical level, but on an energetic level, a mental, spiritual, vibrational. That is through is sex, actual physical sex. You know, some people has to have that to be able to alchemize out energy. And I mean, even like people take pills like mood stabilizers and antidepressants. Sometimes just a good old fucking sometimes is just what a person needs. So like Andrea, but Andrea, you are a very sexual, sensual person. So for you to say that you don't need it anymore is absolute lie, because you know that sex is very very important to you because you are a very passionate, sensual person. I know about the little calico howling kitty, so you can't say it's not important to you because it is, because you are a very sexual person. Anybody that has a moon
Yeah, but how
conjunct
about
Pluto
the people that are
cannot
very
lie to me.
sexual people? How about the people that are highly sexual people, but they don't understand that that's the energy that they have?
Yeah, that does happen. Or what about people that want to be, or that think they're they are highly sexual, but have an overactive sacral, and and a lot of them, they get narcissistic. They get narcissistic with the energy of it, or they or it gets predatorial.
Predatorial would have what I would have used. Yeah.
You gave up on it because nobody can match you. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. That's another lie. That's 2 lies tonight, because you know that's not true. Because you have met somebody that can match it. That's how come we got Howling Kitty. I'm just calling out Andrew's. Has anybody knows my name is it says it's Andrew's Mac Daddy. That's my name for tonight.
Oh, Mac Daddy. Anybody else saying anything? What else have we got?
You know what, Andrew? In that case, I don't think that you were being used. I think that you were I think it was more of a experimental thing. I don't think it was necessarily being used. But you are a very sexual person. I mean, you have a sexual energy to you. Like, I mean, I can totally see why people would, especially couples would want you, because you ooze it. You ooze this energy, and it's so pure, and it's so honest. It's very alluring. And of course, people don't realize that until they really get to know you, once they get past those barriers. But you have very high sexual, sensual energy about you. We've talked about this before, and the sexual or in the kinky spiritualist group. Well, he's not the only fucking Aquarian man in the sea. There's other ones out there.
So I'm gonna try to figure out how to put this, but even people who do have highly sexual energy also have traumas that they need to overcome, and trying to overcome these traumas, a lot of times you are repressing that sexual energy, and it causes
overexalting it too.
Yeah, but if you're repressing it, then you're pushing away opportunities. You might actually have a match and not even realize it because you're repressing that sexual energy.
Yeah, and then some people take from the trauma and they'll overdo it. That's like when it's like when a child goes through sexual trauma or sexual molestation, they say that it either goes one of 2 ways. They'll either become frigid or overly sexually active, until they can find that balance. But notice something happens. But when people suppress it, suppressing it is actually way worse than overexalting and being too active.
Suppressed sexual energy is the worst fucking energy to work with. It is the horriblest.
And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of the people in the world today. I think a lot of them just really need a good laying and a joint, and I think that would fucking just a nice little smile on the face. You'd be amazed at like the asshole down the street from you, that acts a certain way, or a lot of people are so sexually suppressed because of the way we are in society and how we suppress it during the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, early 80s, until it just went all crazy. A lot of people are suffering from suppressed sexual energy. That's what's wrong with a lot of them. Seriously, that's literally what's wrong with people. They need to have sex. They need to get laid. Literally, I'm throwing out there. That's what it is. They just need a good lay. You just want to throw a dildo out their face. Like, here, put it on high and get it done.
It's because it's a release. People don't understand. They don't. They think I'm joking when I turn around and say it's a release. That's why masturbation is a release. It is a release. You need to release. It's like crying. It's a release. When people understand that body secretes that liquid because it needs it. It's like a good cry.
That's why when partners like in like relationships, like when one partner is withholding sex from the other partner, that's literally damaging and hurting somebody on so many different vibrational frequency, on soul level, on energetic level, on an astral level. When a partner denies the other partner sex, like when they use it like that, because it's very damaging. It's almost about as bad as like when you purposely ignore somebody. Because when you purposely ignore somebody, that's very energetically damaging too. But
I always compare it to like children. You wouldn't tell your child, well, I don't love you until you clean your room. So why are we going to withhold?
I'm not going to fuck you until I'm not being mad with you anymore. Yeah, it's wrong.
And that's what
it's
I
a very
always
lethal weapon.
because people don't seem to get it. They're just like, well, they use it as a tool in a relationship, and it really shouldn't be.
Matt, and it is a lethal weapon because sex has like not only just sex, but even just fighting over women, like Helen of Troy. I mean, there has been battles in war just because of sex. There people have died because of it. It's very lethal in so many different ways. I mean, just like murder in the heat of passion. If somebody gets charged with murder in the heat of passion, basically, they don't have to do they get charged with it, but they don't have to go to prison. But no, sex is very, very lethal.
And they bastardized it when they turned around and said, oh, yes, Mary Magdalene was a fucking prostitute. The church has a lot to do with why we have bad sexual energy and understanding of bad sexual energy.
They are the forerunners of the suppression of sexual energy. I put it right there.
They are. Yep.
And masturbation. Masturbation is huge. Like when we go back to talk about like the tantric. One of the best ways to learn or start getting into tantric, do it with yourself. You start with yourself because you got to know yourself sexually anyway. But and like dealing with those of you that have children, those awkward moments when you have to talk to your child about masturbation, because at a very young age, children, like a lot of people have started masturbating at a very young age, children. And I was like, this way, it's there, they can touch it, it's there, they can do what with it, But masturbation is very healthy and it relieves stress, it relieves pressure, it relieves anxiety, all of that.
That's right. And that's Psychology 101. When I did psychology, they talked about how much that was a big problem within the early 90s, late 90s, was all these men going out, getting prostitutes and paying for prostitutes because their wives at home were withholding the sexual energy. And what happens is that, and what happens is we noticed in Psychology 101, the woman when we would have the sessions would always blame the man. Well, he's got to satisfy my needs. But hang on a minute, not once did you turn around and say you've got to satisfy his needs.
It's supposed to be mutual in a relationship. You both are supposed to be there for the needs of each other, regardless of what those needs are. One partner may need more sexually and one partner may need more physically. It just depends on the relationship that you have.
Yeah, and it's very toxic. If your partner's withholding sex from you, that's very unhealthy and very toxic, and it should be addressed.
But you see, the thing is that I think that it's important to also look at it from the aspect of if you're really not for good reasons other than to manipulate this person, not willing to give that energy, then you either need to walk away or look at options of open relationship.
Yeah, that is actually a very heavy narcissistic trait for somebody to withhold sex in a relationship.
There's a big difference, but when they've lost their sexual appetite and they don't want to have sex in a relationship, that is not withholding. That is different.
That's different. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. If, let's say, your partner really, they're not capable of giving you what it is that you need. Sometimes people will stay in the relationship anyway and just kind of hope that it fixes itself. Sometimes it can, depends, but you have to be able to communicate with your partner to determine how to get both needs met. You know what I mean? On the opposite end of the spectrum, not necessarily withholding it, but knowing that it's not really available, and look at your options of, some people do. Some people have open relationships, or some people are like, no, I can't do an open relationship. And, they move on.
But you know,
Again, and like you
I'm
said,
not, I
well,
do
that's
not condone
communication.
cheating at all. But that's one of the biggest reasons why people cheat is because of the sexual well, the withholding sex or the sexual incompatibility.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why it's so important
and
to
as you said,
communicate.
but that's why open relationships, and there's a lot more happening with open relationships. I don't know why people say polygamy is such a bad thing. Okay, if there is an agreement between 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, how many people, who are you to say, well, that's wrong? If they've come to an agreement and it was a sane agreement and it's not being manipulated and everything's okay, who are we to say what type of relationship that is? We are not here to define anything.
Monogamy is another stigma of, sexual relationships. For sure.
Many
Exactly.
people believe that humans aren't monogamous. They're not meant to be.
Well, see, in my experience, I was told that we were supposed to experience a lot of things, but we did it safely and we did it the way we wanted. I was always given that gift of, Rebecca, you will explore and you will do what you want to do. There are 3 rules: stay safe, stay in your boundaries, and know when to walk away.
Yeah, it's important, and again, it all boils down to the communication aspect of it, because you can get cheated on in a polygamous relationship. You think that you have all the boundaries set, and then someone doesn't communicate, and you can get cheated on. And
Yeah, you can. It's when the boundaries that you set forth, usually when you're in a relationship that has more than one person into it, you have standards on when and who you're able to have relations with. For example, you can't have somebody outside you, and in some of them, you can't have relationships with somebody outside of your inner circle that is party to your relationship. So if somebody seeks outside that circle, that is cheating because it was not agreed upon by all parties involved.
And yet I have something different, whereas I know people that they don't make agreements. It's an all in. And if you get jealous, that's on you.
Yeah, well, that would be the confines of their relationship, though. They're all in that way. They don't have any rules, and that's fine for some. That's not okay for me in my relationships. I like to know exactly what's going on. I like to have some boundary rules, but that's just my personal preference.
That's why I always say it goes back to the individual. Even though this group does that, they still have their basic core rules for themselves, boundaries that they will not cross as an individual, not because they were told by their partner or it was a request by their partner. I love the fact that these individuals have their own basic rules. Now, 3 or 4 of them, between the 5 of them, it will change slightly, but they have the basic moral and core thing. And that would be, of course, most of them would never go out to a club and just pick some random up. That is a rule that they made for themselves. And when they came together collectively, they went, oh, wow, you have the same rule I do. Okay, cool. That's going to work, like that's really cool. So to me, it really does go, the onus is back on the individual and what they want in a relationship, the boundary that they are expecting for themselves as well as from someone else. Because you can't just harp and be a preacher and then a hypocrite and not do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Andrea, if you fall asleep, I'm going to spank you.
She might like that.
Yeah, she probably would. I was just about to say that. She'd love it. We can do some readings now if you want, because I've got to go in about half an hour. My son's got an appointment at the doctor today.
I know Penny wanted a reading. She wanted it on a relationship compatibility with a Capricorn cusp.
Okay.
No, Matt, you may most certainly not watch.
Dirty fecker.
I was muted. The cusp, are you sure it's a cusp? Because I don't think it's a cusp. I think it's full, and it's a cusp would be Capricorn cusp would be like December 21st, 22nd, or January 19th and 20th. I love it, Audience.
I know. I stamp out the fun.
What?
Oh, that's a good thing.
Well, I was talking to Matt.
Oh.
May I have one? Oh, you want a reading on a
What
Leo
is it
and
with
a
Leos and
Libra?
Libras? I swear to God, like I just got done doing a reading for a Leo Libra couple, which you guys are just glutton for punishment, aren't you? Leos and Libras. You guys just the Libra likes to piss the Leo off, and then the it's the makeup sex. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Okay, let's do Penny first.
All right.
I'm pulling my cards right now. I didn't know if you wanted to talk on the actual relationship from an astrology standpoint, Mel.
Yeah, I want to double check on something because I don't think it's. I'm gonna look at something real quick here. You have no one for compatibility. That's why you got to put yourself out there, Andrea.
No, Andrea's got to manifest her beau, the one that she wants, because there's fucking no one out there because she's that fucking picky. So manifest it, manifest him.
Yeah. And you know what? And she is gonna pick you because she's I wish I could play that Jungle Fever song, but yeah, she has a required taste. So yeah, and your required taste happens to bring in a lot of people. I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just gonna shut up. Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, Mr. Brad Pitt. Yeah, where is? I should message him. He's just as good looking in person as he is on video and in picture.
This is the card that
Brad Pitt.
I pulled a card for Penny. This is what I pulled for you, Penny, but I pulled it in the reverse position, so it looked like this, and it's a stag card. This indicates that the relationship could be okay for a while, but you're always going to get hung up on things that you can't change about this other person. So I don't think it's going to be a relationship that's going to last a substantially long time. I think it would be a lot of fun for a while. I think you would enjoy it. I'm not saying don't do it, but I think that it is going to be one that kind of fizzles and burns out within time.
I pulled the Tower card. So on the Tower card, a lot of times with the Tower card, it shows, it could be that height because it's Mars, that height and passion, everything there. But but the Tower moments, there's always that moment of just things crumbling, crumbling down around, and so it's not a forever thing. And the birthday, it's not a cusp, it's full on into it. I'm gonna look at something real quickly here. One sec. Okay, I'm good. I pulled. Yeah, I'm. If the next person wants to go, I don't know if Rebecca, you're pulling cards.
No, mediumship. What was the question?
Just mediumship. Just straight mediumship. All right.
I pulled the world reversed, so what I'm getting from that is that you might be having doubts of completion, I suppose. The world, when it's upright, usually means fulfillment. More fulfillment, not completion. That's the wrong word. I also pulled the temple path, so it's almost like if not now, then in the future, you might feel like you have to change certain aspects in order to make it work. I also pulled broken heart reverse, so I don't think that it's really necessarily going to lead to a broken heart, but with that temple path, I think it's just going to be a logical decision to realize that there's not a lot to appreciate in the relationship, and that to go along with the cornucopia reversed, when that's upright, it usually means abundance on all levels. So you're looking at, different planes of mental, emotional, spiritual. When that's upright, you have all that, but when it's reversed, it's basically saying that it's not everything you're looking for. So I kind of agree with, I believe it was Sarah, where it might be fun for a little while, but I don't think that it's going to be what it is that you're looking for.
Now the person has that cusp energy because with the Sagittarian moon and Sagittarian moons are fun, when it comes to anything sexual, anyways. But lot of Scorpio and Sagittarius energy. There's definitely a mismatching, energies astrologically, and with that Jupiter and Sagittarius too. But it's Yeah, a lot of mishmashing with the plant placements compared to like with when you look at them both separately together. Yeah, God, that's a lot. Like a lot of Sagittarius, a lot of Scorpio energy, very little Capricorn energy.
Was Rebecca pulling cards?
Nope, she's
No,
doing mediumship.
what was the question?
Oh, the question was the compatibility with the Capricorn for Penny. She wanted to know her compatibility with the Capricorn cusp, but Melly said it wasn't an actual cusp; it was just a.
He's not an actual cusp, but he does have that Sag energy with the moon. And she's a Capricorn, and I believe Taurus moon, if I'm correct. I'm gonna make sure I'm correct.
Penny, what I'm getting is that you really want to dive into this wholeheartedly, and you're prepared to, by the look of it. The whole thing is that the other person is just looking for a little bit of fun because they got some problems internally about deciding what they really want in life. So in saying that, they think they know what they want, but they really don't. So that's why Sarah said it's going to be fun for a little while and then it's going to end. Jewel mentioned that you have the capabilities, using your gut discernment and all that sort of thing, but in reverse. So you're ignoring something. And I don't know what it is you're ignoring. I'm trying to pick that up
Leo
at the moment.
rising. That explains so much. That's where, Leo rising with the Taurus moon in the 8th house moon conjunct Chiron. That's really good for sexual healing too. We've talked about that with energy work, and you've got such a beautiful bowl, like a nice bowl of stellium in your chart. But yeah, I forgot that you were a Leo rising, Penny. That's where that fire comes from, that passion. That's why you're not. That's why I don't think you're not a cold Capricorn. Usually Capricorns that get like this coldness from them, or there's like this blockage of like just. And I've never gotten that from you. That's you got that Taurus moon and that Leo rising. It's very fixed.
Yeah, the Leo. And that's why she wants to jump in because that's what Leos do. We've got this big heart, and once you get into that little aspect of us, and we see that we are enjoying your company, and we can be who we are, we automatically open the floodgates and go, hello.
And then you got that 5th house moon. Your moon, your sun is in a Leo house. You have a 5th house sun. I'm sorry, 5th house sun. So your Capricorn sun has a lot of Leo energy on it just from the house placement. So yeah, you are a very fiery Capricorn. Yeah, you're not a cold, like you're not like your typical Capricorn.
Yeah, and I think you'd challenge him to a degree, and that's why it would fizzle out. You'd have lots of fun, don't get me wrong. And if that's something you want, Penny, go. Fucking do it. But make your boundaries, Like, there's certain things that you might like and certain things you might not like. Go and have some fun. But if you're looking for something long-term, this is not it.
Yep. And Helen, can I get your birth details, your birth information? Like just your full
we have some people ahead of her too. So
no, but I wanted to have that beforehand. That's why I asked.
Also, Helen, if you have a specific question you want answered or just general, and the same for you, Matt, if you have a specific question or just
Matt,
general.
for you, it's no. The answer's no. That's your hard time.
Unless it's relationships, then it's no.
Yeah, then definitely no.
Next up is Rose. Rose wanted a mediumship reading.
Ooh, Rosie.
Ooh, sun. I pulled the sun. I actually had
mediumship's back.
I'm like,
I don't know if she wanted to talk to somebody specific. Rose, are you
the baby here? The baby here?
Yeah, she had the baby. Her daughter had the baby.
They had the baby. They had the baby. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's very pretty baby. Nothing specific.
So general.
And Helen, don't forget some birth information.
Rose, you got to look in that baby's eyes. There's a message.
Yeah, oh my God, Rebecca, I got the same thing. I picked the same thing.
You are going to babysit, and you are going to look into this baby's eyes. Time will stop, and you will have a conversation with Crystal.
Oh, Helen, you're an Aries. God, I swear to God, I'm just haunted by Aries. You guys always take over. Aries and Leos always take over my shit. April 3rd. You're okay. So you're third on a 3 baby. So everything's always bigger. Go home with you. And he is March 27th.
Mel, can you post the question of whoever we're reading next, please?
Oh, I don't know who we're reading next. Sarah knows that.
We're doing a mediumship on Rose. I don't know if anybody wanted to pull cards for her.
I pulled the Sun card, and the Sun card is a card that child. Claire, yeah. It's
This particular child will have a very, 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 very unique bond with Rose. It's something that no one will understand but Rose and the child.
Well, I think her
us,
mother is telling her to stop worrying. I don't see your daughter, but I see your mother. And she's telling you to stop worrying. You've always done that. She said, you know it. Just stop. Stop worrying about people. It'll all be fine.
Yeah.
And something about peanut butter, but I don't know what that is.
Peanut butter. That's funny.
I smell it. I smell peanut butter.
Shut up. Now I'm smelling toasted peanut butter. Thank you.
That's what it is. It's like, I don't know if she put it on toast or something. Yes, Rose, that was for you. I think it's a mother. She looks very motherly to me. But I don't know what peanut butter is, but it's like peanut butter on something, like it's melty.
Yeah. It's like it's on toast and it's melting. It's got that little tiny burnt smell to it.
Oh, then maybe it's a grandmother. I know I don't really see who
Yeah, because Sarah's blind. Got Stevie Wonder here.
I initially thought grandmother, but I'm like, the lady that I seen, she looked too young to be a grandmother. Maybe that's just the way I see her.
Ooh, this is interesting.
It was weird.
Rose,
I don't like peanut butter.
Why am I getting something about a necklace? You haven't got a necklace on. What's that mean? Where's the necklace? You haven't got a necklace on. There's something about a necklace. Yep, something about a necklace. You got to be putting a necklace on, or you misplaced a necklace. I don't know. That's all I'm getting
Maybe,
at the moment.
or maybe you're needing a necklace.
Yeah, maybe you're getting one. Yeah, could be too.
No,
Or maybe
really.
you're to get the necklace for the baby.
That was the first thing that came to mind, but I thought, well, no, maybe it's a little word necklace, but yeah, maybe it's something. It'll come together.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I'm getting. Here we go.
I have an amber TV necklace for a baby that I made.
Or a necklace of protection for the baby.
That's what they're for.
Yeah, like a St. Christopher. Yeah, something like that.
I did buy the baby a rosary.
I pulled a
safe
card for you,
travel.
Rose.
Yeah.
It's the Wild Man card. It's generally about kind of like inner turmoil between not necessarily beliefs, just kind of getting back into where you need to be. You're kind of struggling to find your balance and possibly find where you should be focused. It's like you want to do so many different things, but you're being pulled. You love me some wild men. Some wild men. Kind of like you're being pulled in multiple directions and you want to make everybody happy. You want to do everything that is expected or that people want you to do, but you're just finding yourself falling short. That's not really something you can control. And if anybody is pressuring you to do more, they're probably not the best people to be around at this time. You need to focus on realigning yourself and getting that energy back into focus.
The Queen of I pulled the Queen of Pentacles reverse as she was talking, that just aligned to what she's saying, getting grounded and stuff, and not stressing about money and things that are financially related.
Rose agrees, so we must be right. I really want to know who that lady was with that was telling you not to worry.
Oh, what is the baby's name? What is the baby's name?
Rose, did you have a grandmother that died when she was kind of young? Because this lady looked like young, not like super young, but like
I think it was a grandmother, her grandmother too, not her mom, but her grandmother.
Well,
Stop wasting her money.
It just looked too young to be a grandmother when I seen her.
My grandmother died at 36. My mom's mom died at 36, and that's pretty young. Oh, you did name her Crystal Rose. Okay. Excellent.
I knew that. Yeah, that probably would have been about the age, because I seen her and she looked about the age of my mom, and I'm like, I couldn't be a grandmother for Rose. She'd have to be a wee bit older. Rose is just a little bit older than me. I bet you that's who it was.
Yeah, I picked up that it was Rose's grandmother.
What did they name her?
Crystal Rose.
Yeah, that's a pretty name.
It is.
Can you post questions of whoever is up, please?
I knew they would.
Rose, did she like peanut butter, or maybe she made peanut butter for your grandfather, because that's what I smelled. But the lady that I saw was very adamant that you worry too much, and she's always told you not to worry. Just let things fall the way that they're gonna be.
You know, Rose is an Aquarius rising with the Gemini moon. That Gemini moon probably really just will not shut up sometimes. Yeah, be just overactive.
I pulled the Sun, which is about vitality. So I do think that balance is starting to come into your life. You're starting. I mean, the positivity, just being able to, light up your face, light up your heart, be able to feel that vitality returning into your life. I also pulled Man Holding a Heart. This one's a little bit, I guess, more difficult to interpret. It's generally a man in your life that is dealing with a lot of emotions, somebody who's family oriented. And I think that this person has something to do with this vitality. They are
Pentacles.
a supporting role in that. And then I also pulled the Blossoming Abundance reversed. So financial difficulties, but I do again think that this man holding a heart, this family man, this man that is kind of holding some of that emotion for and with you, is a support in that area as well with the Blossoming Abundance. So
as Jules was talking, I pulled the King of Pentacles. As Sarah was talking, I pulled the Queen of Pentacles reverse. So I got the matching King and Queen as they were talking. She understands it.
I'll be right back. You sound like a robot again.
Oh.
Hi, Roberto.
Because I am one. No, just kidding.
Hi, Roberto. She said robot, and it made me think of that when I was saying your name. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. If anybody wants a reading, just jot it down and we'll get to you. But Bobby is up next, and he wants to know about a relationship between a Leo and a Libra.
Run. If it's a Libra, run as fast as you can. Run, like fucking hit the floor, run and just leave skin marks like fucking shoes. Just go, like for real. Anything lights on fire, just leave it. Just leave it all behind. Just abandon shit. Swim for shore.
Makeup sex will be awesome.
Makeup sex, yeah. Makeup sex between Leo and a Libra. Yeah, I would like to film that.
Just dive in. Just do it. Don't
Andrew, don't you want to read? Don't you want to get a card pull to see what lays in the line of your love life?
Just jump in. Can live one.
All right, I'm waiting for Jules to come back. Where'd you go?
Oh, while we're waiting, we can pull for Bobby. She said
Yeah.
she had to reboot because everybody sounded like a robot.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, it's driving me nuts.
You could have a love life if you, Andrew, I'll shoot your ass in private messenger. But you can always, see what's in store. It's getting ready to be Leo season. Leo season is the season of love and passion and romance.
Oh, and the big
Scorpio
ass
season
fire.
is then when you guys break up and you have to stalk them. That's Scorpio. I'm just kidding.
Try having Leo on Leo action.
I have a heavy 5th house in North Northern Leo, so I get it. I got Uranus and Pluto in my 5th house. Yeah, my second senator was in the 5th house, and then my North Node was in Leo. Yeah.
Does that mean you've always got an ass in your face?
Yeah, I guess I always got Pluto in my Uranus.
And then
that might be a good night.
I want to see that deck, Annette. Good night, Andrea. Sleep well.
But Andrea,
I will come stalk you later in your dreams later on. Give a few hours. I'll be there.
it'll be your toe.
This is a card that I pulled for you, Bobby. And it was in the upright position. It's the Lord of the Underworld. This card indicates that a relationship could work between you and this individual, but it would be a lot of work. And you have to really think about whether or not it would be wise for you to invest that amount of time and energy and probably financial stability into this relationship. Is it something that's really going to be as fruitful and as beneficial as you want it to be? Or do you just want it because you don't want to be alone? That's something that you're really going to have to think about before you go through with that relationship. It's going to be one-sided for a little while as well. It does have the potential to work, but it's a lot of work on your part and very little on the other person's on the other person's side, at least in the beginning.
I'm just going to say this out loud. If you go down that road, mate, I don't want to hear about it. Yeah?
Oh.
Done. Yep. Don't want to hear about it. Nah, you're doing this because exactly what Sarah said. You just don't want to be alone.
Are we doing Matt or Bobby? Which one are we doing?
Bobby. This
is
Bobby. We're doing Bobby.
I don't think so, Bobby. I don't think so, Bobby. You'll be exhausted by the time you just finish looking at them.
I got a 2 of Swords reverse with the Wheel of Fortune reverse with the Ace of Pentacles reverse. Yeah. Two of Swords, that's conflicting energies, even like arguments. Wheel of Fortune, the spinning may not be in the best of favors, and then the Ace of Pentacles, that's stagnant energy.
Yeah, once you're snagged, the mask will come off.
What was the question?
How would a relationship go with him, Leo and Libra?
Well, I'm sorry.
In the comments, just like you asked.
No, I mean to post it on the where you.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking. I'm scrolling.
It's in the private chat section.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant what Mel's about to do.
I'm trying to find it.
It's way far up, which is why I didn't.
Yeah, I'll probably find it better on the computer. Yeah.
Can you repeat again, please, Sarah?
We're doing Bobby, and he wanted to know about a relationship between a Leo, which is him, and a Libra.
Okay, so 2 of Swords, Melanie pulled. I pulled indecision. So that's pretty much the same thing. In the tarot, the 2 of Swords is indecision. So definitely some stagnant energy. And I think what might be or will be holding you back in this is the fact that you do have such a great heart, because I pulled appreciation. So you are just so willing to look at everything awesome about it that you overlook anything that could be
all the little flaws.
Yeah. But I also pulled seventh chakra archangel Uriel, and that is associated with your crown chakra. So I think that there's some sort of connection coming that might not necessarily be related to the relationship that's going to give you a little bit of clarity in order for you to make that decision moving forward.
Oh, I middle of the deck, I pulled up the Temperance card, so yeah. Oh, the next one. I'll go find the next one after this.
Okay. Rebecca, were you going to comment on Bobby?
I did.
Again?
I already told him. Don't go down that road.
Bobby,
I didn't know if you had anything else
you're
you
a
wanted to
Leo,
say.
right? Bobby's a Leo, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other Leo.
Don't do it. I've told him, don't do it because, you know, I don't want to hear about it. It's not going to be, like I said, she's going to drop the mask. As soon as he's snagged, then she's going to show her true colors. That's not how it works.
He's going to drop the mask.
Huh?
I said he's going to drop the mask.
Yeah, the Aries
right.
one. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I was looking at your guys' stuff now. Helen, very
Helen, you're
interesting.
next on my list, and then Matt is followed by you. So you want to, and Aries and Aries is going to be challenging. You're going to be feisty together.
Or really good sex as well. And we also got Andrea.
But when not in the bedroom, they're usually feisty.
Yeah, I'm looking at their stuff. One has an Aquarian moon and the other one has a Taurus moon. You guys are some stubborn motherfuckers.
Roberto, we need your birth info. Let me shuffle my cards for you, Helen.
Yeah, I'm shuffling too. Okay, I had to bend over to get my phone on the charger. Whoop! And that one just flew out. Hold on. Oh my god, I can't pick it up. There, got it.
I'll tell you what they are.
Magician. The Magician card flew out. Oh god, everything's dinging. April. Oh, another Aries. God damn it! Like it's getting hot in here. Fire energy. I think, yeah. Sarah's a Sag and Rebecca's a Leo, and then me and Jules are the air signs, Gemini, Aquarius. So we've got all the air fanning all this extra fire that we got going on in the chat.
This is a card I pulled for you, Helen. It's the Ceres, which indicates that there is a potential for a relationship to be long lasting. Actually, with much less conflict than I would have thought. But you'll have to be diligent about keeping that control. It won't necessarily be a power struggle, but it's kind of like you guys you're both keep each other in line, if that makes sense. So I would say if this is a relationship you are considering pursuing or making, taking the next step, I would say go for it. The cards indicate that it has a high potential for success.
Andrew, you need to stay away from fire and stick to earth because that's your problem is the fire. You need something more earthy. Yeah,
you'll egg each other on. You'll egg each other on. You'll get each other's energy and you'll help each other. You spur each other's on. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Andrew, you attract a lot of narcissistic men, and that narcissism is very heavy in air and fire signs. Just putting it out there.
I pulled for Helen the Garden and the Gates and Journey Reverse. I'll go over those two first because I feel like the Journey Reverse is kind of saying that one or both of you have seen where it can lead, but you haven't really. The Garden and the Gate is kind of like somebody standing outside of the garden looking at how great it could be on the inside, but not really willing to take that next step in order to actually experience that greatness. I'm almost kind of thinking that this man in the reading he's represented by the thinking man. So this thinking man actually has something to teach you. So I don't know if it's you holding back in a certain area where you kind of just gotta take a little bit of a leap of a faith and see where it goes. But I do think that there is something to be gained from the relationship by taking that next step and learning something, even if it doesn't work out. Of course, I can't really see that in these cards, but you're not going to know unless you try.
No,
I have a question. What's holding you back? Oscar, what's holding her back?
No, the magician card is the one that flew out while I was shuffling, and the magician card, that's get into that creativeness, and and that's like owning in within your power, and it's just showing the different dynamics of who you are, like basically just bringing your shit to the table and be like, here it is, here's, and then I also pulled the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles, which is the thing you might have some teach you. Now the Knight of Pentacles this is somebody that can definitely show you different routes to different things that you don't already know, or help solidate them into being more grounded. And I also pulled the Eight of Cups, which I like the Eight of Cups because the Eight of Cups, it's like seeing things from a real perspective, and that's what's always within that fantasy. And I also pulled the Wheel of Fortune, and none of these cards were reversed. So yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, and got cord. I hit the cord. But there's definitely something here. And looking at you guys, when I saw that you are the Aries with the Taurus moon, so you're very grounded. And I can't tell from your picture what you look like, but having a Taurus moon, I already know, Aries and Geminis are the two signs that age very. Actually, they don't age at all. They usually keep their youthfulness on their face. And anybody that has a Taurus moon or rising or sun, they're usually very beautiful because Taurus is seen astrologically the most beautiful, and they are the most just beautiful Venus ruled. I mean, they're just gorgeous people. So so basically, in looking at your chart here, and then having even got Jupiter and Taurus, and then you have, where's your Mars at? Mars in Cancer. So you can be very loving, and you have to be careful with that Mars in Cancer, because Mars in Cancer you can attract very abusive men, or you can also be abusive yourself too as well. You have to be careful with that. But so yeah, there's definitely got some sensuality to you as well, very, very drawing in, because the Taurus has that energy about them, people just drawn to them. He's got an Aquarius moon, and he's also got Mars in Cancer. Now that Aquarius moon is very Aquarius moons can kind of get stuck into being too logical thinking, and sometimes can be too scientific, too much in the box. But both very Taurus and Aquarius are very fixed signs, but there usually can be a harmonious aspect between them, even though they square each other astrologically. But that Aquarius moon mind of his is going to do wonders for you.
She said it's a communication thing and that finances are holding her back.
Yeah, I know. I went ahead and pulled a clarifying card because she said that. This was the card that I pulled as a clarifier, which is Lady of the Ways. It basically shows you standing in the way. Bring down your standards of making the commitment stronger. Just go with it. Get it done. Get it out of the way. Financials can be an issue, but there's ways around that. Think outside the box. Just if it's something you really want to go for it, go for it. Don't let the little things hold you back.
This is a very good Aries matching, one of the best Aries matchings I've seen.
I thought so too, because I thought they were going to be
usually Aries, it just depends, but the moon. But you guys having, one has an air moon, one has an earth moon, but earth and air can do very well together, especially financially. And Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are the four fixed signs of currency and also with love. But yeah, fixed signs do wonderful together when it comes to business and money and stuff, or even just being able to brainstorm together, and it's just like I said, that your guys' moons is what's really, even if they are not compatible, the incompatibility of it's making it compatible. If you know what I mean? But yeah, this is really good, and also hot and steamy, because I know Aquarius is going to preach the sheets too, like Taurus is. So yeah, definitely would be in there with the film crew. I throw that out there because I'm
Okay. Next, is anybody else have anything to say on Helen before we move on?
I think we're good.
Okay. Hopefully that's helpful to you, Helen. Remember,
oh shit! I still have to do laundry tonight. I can't do much.
Leave us a positive review. We like that.
I'm switching out. Hold on, I gotta bring back the other Melanie real quick here.
Okay, now we are doing Matt, and he just wanted a general. You're welcome, Helen. That's definitely what it looked like in the when we were doing the reading. Usually Aries can be kind of feisty when they're not in the bedroom, but it's kind of like you keep each other balanced. It's kind of like usually they butt heads, but it's the opposite with you two. What you kind of falter on, he's kind of good at, and vice versa. So I really think that it's a very good match.
Can I go first for Matt?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, hold on. Matt, the first card I pulled was a World card, followed by the Justice card, Saturn, and the Justice card is Libra, card for Libra, King of Wands, and then I got the Five of Wands, Pentacles reversed. And here's the thing though, like they all play a theme together, and this is this is about focusing on you. You know, coming into a completion of understanding of things. The Justice card, relationships. Now this is reestablishing relationships with other people. That's going to help with this king here. Did I say, yeah, King of Wands. So the King of Wands, that's fire sign. And then with the five of Wands reversed, you know, so you don't want any conflict in there. So you have to understand your relationship with other people. And with the relationships with other people, non-romantic relationships with other people. So, you know, and I like the Five of Wands reversed because, you know, because there is no conflict there, but that's what you need to focus on you, and then your your platonic relationship with other people. And there's just some really good potential, something that's going to come out of this, especially with you. You need to be a little bit more airy, basically is what I'm saying. You need to be a little bit more like self-focused, you know, because you're always so, you know, always just, you're very you're very un-Aries in that way. You're not always so self-focused and just like in that tunnel vision of things. You know, you're very empathic when it comes to other people. But yeah, so this is like be a little bit more selfish and focusing on yourself and your needs and everything outside of romantic relationships. All right. I'm switching out real quick.
This is a card that I pulled for you, Matt. It is the Lady of the Moon and Stars. This card indicates you need to open yourself up to your higher self and listen to the words that are being given to you. Listen to the instructions around you. Listen to your inner self. Find the things around you that you can connect with to broaden your horizon and foster what it is you wish to learn. I think you already know a lot of this, but it's more about connecting with it, gaining back that focus and that composure in order to be able to do what is necessary to take the steps that you want to move forward on your journey. You are going to be the one that has to set the ground rules and walk your path, so to speak. All right. I don't know if Rebecca wanted to say anything or Jewel.
I pulled 7th chakra, which is again the crown chakra with the carrying connections. I think Mel's right. It's not necessarily a romantic thing. It is more connecting with like the law of, what is that sound?
I think it's Rebecca.
Oh, okay. I think it's more connecting with like the law of unity, the law of one, because I also pulled Door to Spirit, and Door to Spirit is basically broadening that view, broadening that connection to include more than just like the minute details, but the broader, opening everything up so that you are able to receive more. I believe, you know, like you've been receiving a lot, and it's been going quick, and it might seem counterproductive. What is it? The word that I'm looking for? Yeah, that. Thank you. Counterintuitive. Thank you. It might seem that way in order to actually broaden it up to allow more in because you've already received so much. But in reality, I think what this is going to do is it's actually going to balance out that flow. It's going to balance it out to where you can actually take what it is that you're receiving and apply it to your life.
Who asked? What was the question, please?
Matt, he just wanted a general reading.
Okay, Matt, can I do yours? We'll inbox later. Is that okay?
Okay, does anybody else have anything else they want to say to Matt? And we'll go on to Roberto.
Who
Mel,
said
are you-
productive? That's what it was. I was trying to get productive and intuitive and squish them together.
Oh, Matt left? Huh. I wonder why Matt left. Maybe he did, or maybe he's still lurking. Well, hopefully he didn't leave before we gave him his I thought your question was, will you ever meet and will you ever meet and connect with a woman, right, Roberto? Or did you want a different question?
And Matt can always rewind if you did miss it.
Okay, did you want to answer that question you highlighted before we do Roberto's actual reading?
Which one?
You highlighted it.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I was looking around trying to get my mouse to work.
Well, that's a question for you. He asked if fixed signs like destiny or star signs cross or star-crossed lovers, stuff like that. And he was talking about it was back when we were doing Helen's reading.
Oh, fixed signs. Well, you have fixed signs, cardinal, and mutable. Your fixed signs are one. It's one of each of the earth, fire, air, and water. So your fixed signs, you know, Taurus and Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, because they sit cross with each other. Cardinals is Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra, and then your mutable is your Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius. They're just different modalities, just for classification. You know, cardinal signs are, you know, power. They're action orientated. Fixed signs are very fixed in nature, and they're the ones that are usually like that built to last, you know, like very strong lasting, like type energy type people. And then your mutable signs are the ones that are always constantly changing and always very mutable and able to adapt, and they're always ever changing. A lot of people don't really like with mutable signs, you know, they're always evolving, they're always, you know, like just like changing. They're really good with change. So it all depends. But usually, you know, mutable signs do good with mutable signs, fixed with fixed, cardinal, just like air signs do well together, fire signs do well together. It's just like you know, you have other groupings besides just earth, fire, air, and water. You know, and sometimes they're, you know, an incompatibility can be very compatible depending on other things, like, you know, a person's individual chart compared to somebody else's. But with you being a fire sign, though, you know, fire Aries is that one fire sign that it's kind of like it's kind of like Gemini. It's like all or nothing. Same thing kind of goes to Scorpio too. It's like an all or nothing thing. So it's like with Aries, you either love them or you don't.
All right, are we ready to do Roberto's reading?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, he wanted to know if he will meet a woman he can connect with. You have his birthday, right?
Yes, he's an Aries. Ooh, I pulled the Queen of Wands. She came right out.
You can go first since you already pulled it.
All right, so Queen of Wands. I'm gonna pull another one to go with that Queen of Wands, and then we've got the Seven of Cups reverse. So the Seven of Cups reverse is oh, that's you and your emotions and your feelings. So that's something that, you know, like you need to address within himself. And then let's put the cards here, and I got the Ace of Pentacles reverse. So just a little bit of work, emotional work, and you know, just getting, I guess, a more grounding, better understanding of like your emotions, your feelings, what you want, what you don't want. But yeah, she's there. And what'd you get, Sarah?
This is what I pulled for you. It's the Otter. This card indicates that yes, you will find somebody that you connect with, but it won't be in the near future. You have a lot of work you need to do on yourself, specifically with shadow work and coming to terms with your actual core belief structure. And until you do that, until you make those positive changes in your life and work through some of the stuff that you need to work through, you're not going to be able to reach that level of connection that you desire from a woman. You have other things at this particular time that you need to be focusing on.
I did get something very similar. I pulled Man Holding a Heart. So again, this card is you. This is
We're talking about
a lot
Roberto.
of water. There's a lot of water there. So there's a lot of emotion. So with the Otter, it's water. with man holding a heart. It's water. So there's a lot of water there. There's a lot of emotions to be able to get through. And I think some of that is also actually looking at your self-worth, because I pulled appreciation. So in order to attract that person, you need to be able to appreciate the aspects of yourself that are actually going to attract that person. I also pulled third chakra, and that is your solar plexus. That is will. It almost seems like you need to connect more into that fire energy, because a lot of times fire energy will give you that oomph to be able to get through what it is that you need to get through and move forward. I also pulled action. So, doing, there's going to be a lot of doing. First, it's going to be doing for yourself in order to bring yourself to that point, in order to attract that person for you. And then it's going to be doing, actually, once you actually get the idea of who you are and what it is that you're going for, actually putting in the work to bring that to you, because you can't just kind of make a wish on a birthday candle and blow it out and hope that it's just going to fall in your lap. You actually have to do the work to bring that into your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to talk about that birthday candle thing a little bit. Birthday candle, blowing out a wish, is a very simple form of a spell, but there's two parts to a spell. First is your intent, which is what you want. You want to manifest that relationship. The second part of the spell is the actual action of going out and doing something. You can't just have an intention and not do anything to get your intention. If you want a job, you can't just sit here and twiddle your thumbs and say, oh, I wish I had a job. You have to go out and you have to fill out the application. So when you're doing any sort of spell work, you need two very important pieces to it. You need the intent, so you want to know what the outcome you want is, and you want to know the action to get to there, and you want to work on both of them. You want the outcome, but you need to do the action. So some might argue that the action is the most important part of spell work. That's it. Sorry, I had to say that.
That's okay. I think that the clarification could be good for some people. So hopefully that helped. Was Rebecca going to pull?
Beck.
What was the question? Sorry.
Will we find the that one person
woman to connect with?
Connect with
Can I have his full name, please?
Roberto.
Roberto I am very bad.
It's like
It's in the chat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
I'll look at it. Hang on.
Arizeppi.
Yep.
Hopefully I said it right. Please don't yell at me if I butchered it.
And he was hoping to what? Find the love of his life?
He just wants to find a woman to connect with.
Okay. Well, there's a lady in his life at the moment that is wanting to connect with him but doesn't, because there seems to be a bit of a cultural difference here. So I think she's not approaching this person because of cultural differences. And I think they're closer than you think, Roberto. And I think that they are around you nearly every day, but Roberto, you don't notice them.
You have the same birthday as Hugh Hefner. I just want to throw that out there. I just had to say that. April 9th.
So the person is right next to you or right within your circle. You're just not noticing them. And yes, they are admiring you from afar. And that's all I'm getting. Sorry, dude.
The first card I pulled was the Queen of Wands. So yeah, somebody she's fiery for sure.
And if you like our reading, Roberto, feel free to leave us a review on one of our pages or all of them.
Oh.
Okay, last call.
I'm going to go and take my son. I've got to take my son to an appointment. I will talk to you backstage probably in about 20 minutes if it's finished. If not, I'll join back. Okay?
All right. If anybody else wants a reading before we jump over here.
We got to pull for Andrea. We got to pull for Andrea on her love life.
Okay.
Does Andrea want us to pull? Oh, just a general. I see. I didn't see you down there, Andrea. Okay, let me shuffle. And if anybody else wants a reading, now is your time to ask. Or hold your peace until next time.
You know, oh, why does this always happen? You know, I pass.
Oh, did we already pulled for Penny, didn't we?
For
I
who?
thought so.
Penny, I think we pulled for you in the beginning of the video. When we're done, you'll have to go back and watch it. I think you were the first person we pulled for.
Yes.
I'll read for you, Andrea. Give me a minute.
Oh, I pulled and I want to pass. I'm passing. Oh, yeah.
It's okay, Penny. You can just hit the replay. It was, I don't remember what it was. I am so horrible about remembering people's readings because they're not mine. So I don't want to share something that I shouldn't share.
Let me scroll up here and I can see about the time we started pulling cards. We started pulling cards around 11:45, so it's been almost now. So you're gonna
Okay.
So let's see here.
This is interesting. Here, Andrea. This is your card. This card is the Walker Between Worlds. This card indicates that your personality, you have the ability to see things from both sides, which means that you can be a very objective person.
Just gotta leave it alone like you.
Which is very good on many different levels, but spiritually speaking, that means you are able to walk between worlds as well. So you might want to be focusing on some different aspects of meditation and getting to know yourself better, and also astral travel.
That's interesting that you pulled that, because I had pulled the Hierophant reverse, and then I pulled other after like, oh boy. But the Hierophant reverse would definitely speak to her spiritual nature for sure.
You might want to explore yourself spiritually a little bit more. Look for ways that you can expand and gain knowledge in these aspects that you are drawn to, and it's going to be specifically in areas that you have interest in. That is definitely something you could do, Andrea, learning to astral travel. You probably already do it in your dreams and don't even realize it.
Yeah, and you're a Cancer sun, so you should be lucid dreaming should come easy to you. If you need help with that, I can help you with that. Lucid dreaming is it's not too hard to grasp.
I pulled All Tied Up and Adjacent Possibilities reversed. So while I think Sarah is correct, you are capable of doing it, I feel as though there's something holding you back from doing it. There is an adjacent possibility that has been presented to you, but that you have overlooked. The third card that I pulled is community, so that very well may be that you're in the wrong communities. You need to look for the communities, as Sarah said, that kind of support what it is that you are able to do, and that help you grow in your abilities and grow in your talents, and really be able to flourish for you, because you are being held back. It probably is a little bit, some internal struggle of your own that you kind of have to work with or through. But I think that also you basically have to choose your crowd. You have to go and look for people in communities and, different resources that actually support your goals, support what it is that really makes you feel like you're coming alive, to be able to open up to a lot of these gifts and abilities that you're capable of.
When I pulled the cards, I was saying I was going to pull cards on your, with religion and love life, and the first card I pulled was the Hierophant reverse, followed by the Two of Swords, and then the Knight of Swords. Now the Two of Swords, the Two of Swords a lot of times is an internal conflict with self, which can cause conflicting or not having that matching of, with somebody else. But I didn't pull it reverse though, but then following by the Knight of Swords. And see, and the thing I don't like about the Knight of Swords is the Knight of Swords could be, it's like dealing with people that God, swords are so hard. just doesn't necessarily always have your best interest, especially with following in with the Hierophant reverse. You know, and the Hierophant card sometimes is also seen as a marriage card, just like the Sun card can be, as well as there's a couple other cards that can, you know, like with marriage and partnership, just like the Lovers card. But the Hierophant reverse, you know, that the Hierophant reverse also too is getting bad spiritual guidance, are taking advice from somebody who should not be giving spiritual or mystical advice as well. So yeah, very much in matching, and also too with the Two of Swords, you know, Two of Swords, the two coming together, you know, it's communication as well. Swords are always the state of mind or communication, and then the Nine of Swords, but it's going back to the Hierophant card. So yeah, definitely strengthening up your spiritual side of who you are, like actually putting a lot of effort into that and a lot of strengthening into that, because then it's going to strengthen the other areas in your life, and then he will come in. Because that Knight of Swords there too, yeah, it's there. It still needs to mature into that king, you know, but it's just strengthening certain areas of your life, and definitely your spiritual one, because it's very important. You have an 8th house sun and you're a Scorpio rising with a Libra moon on your Pluto. You know, you're drawn to mysticism for a reason, and you have very mystical for a reason.
We'd definitely be able to help you, Andrea, and we're glad you trust us.
Yeah, no more paying.
Narrow down your interest a little bit.
I said no more paying people $50 for classes that you aren't taking.
Well, the other thing is I wanted to point out is that part of what could be holding you back is the idea that you have too many interests. Really, the only person that can determine that is you. So you either, you know, bring yourself up to, hey, I have all these interests, and kind of explore them, or do like what Sarah said and kind of reduce them. I think that type of thinking can hold you back.
Yeah, like with me, I have a lot of interest in a lot of areas, and I just rotate them out.
Yeah, I have a lot of interest in a lot of areas too. I just do one thing at a time. I'll study one thing and then I'll move on to the next, and then move on from there and there. And it's just knocking one thing off my list at a time. I actually legitimately have a list of all the things that I want to do and want to learn that I have yet to do. And I just work on one thing at a time, and when I finish it, I just scratch it off my list.
Okay, Sarah, so you basically, when it comes to learning, like to master something or something at a more like higher level, you master, then you just move on to the next instead of like,
yeah,
instead of taking bites out of the other plate or the bites of the stuff on your plate.
Yeah, I get hyper focused. I'll hyper focus on the area that I want to learn, and then I will just learn it, and then I'll just know it.
I was actually just watching it was a review of Mark Manson's The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it's actually scientifically proven that the best way to do it is exactly how Sarah does it. So I used to be like Melanie, but I'm working more towards, you know, doing it Sarah's way, because when you hyper focus on something, like it was actually going through like a lot of the most successful people like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, people who are really highly successful, literally they write lists like that, and then they choose one, and when they're doing like their daily scheduling, they will block out like Monday is all for this company, Tuesday is all for another company. So scientifically speaking, that is really, honestly, that's the best way to do it.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll go right. Okay, sorry. I just want to throw out there. Hey, I have been narrowing it down to hyper focusing on one thing. Like, either it's going to be like astrology or like tarot. Like when I started deciding getting into tarot, that was the only thing that I like focused on. So I am also, you know, learning to kind of narrow it down and to, like I said, rotate them out instead of doing a bunch of just one day or one time. So I'm correcting a little bit of my own behavior as well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which one thing you choose from your list, as long as that's the only thing you're focusing on at that time. And yeah, Andrea, we can help you weed them out. And work takes a toll on everybody, but you just have to take commitment to learn whatever it is you choose to learn. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. If you only have 20 minutes a day to dedicate to that, then that's 20 minutes a day you could be dedicating to what it is you're working to learn. And then after you've mastered that, then you have that 20 minutes back, so you can focus that 20 minutes on something else that you haven't successfully completed yet.
Yep,
right. So if you have like a whole list of, like you say, you have too many, okay, write them all down, right? A lot of times, at least in my experience, I find that as many things as I thought I was interested in, I'll actually get into it and realize the passion just leaves. It's gone. So you don't read it anymore. You scratch it off the list and you move to the next thing.
Now, Rebecca had given me some really good advice. She said on a calendar, mark 2 things that you want to complete each day, and make sure you complete those 2 things. That's actually really good. That's really good as well, especially like because you have a Libra moon, you know, and so anybody that has like the air energy of a sun and moon or rising, they do have a lot of different, especially with air, you have a lot of interest in a lot of different areas. It's just like just going about doing it, but committing to it. And like with me, I'm committed to all the things I'm passionate about and that I have a strong interest in, which is a lot of things. But again, it's just like, you know, take them in like smaller bites, but eating more of it. And like I used to do multiple different things in like one day, you know, but 2 things a day. So if you can commit, like she said, 20 minutes or one day a week, you commit to that 1 or 2 things, then you know that helps. But it can be done because a lot of people out there, you know, that have a lot of different interests in different areas. There is a mastery of it, you know, that whole jack of all trades but master of none. That's bullshit because you can't actually master in a lot of areas, and Sarah's actually walking proof of that.
I just see I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, but other people, I guess, have different opinions. That's all you can do, Andrea, is do your best.
Yeah, control that Libra moon.
Okay, does anybody else want a reading before we jump off of here?
Oh, I do. Would somebody pull 1 card for me? I don't care who.
Sure.
And then I gotta get off here and go do laundry.
I stepped away from my cards, so I will let Sarah do honors.
I just have to shuffle them. And sure, Andrea, of course.
Yes.
It's your card, Mel.
The Lady of the
Yeah, the Lady of the Sacred Earth. You are having a disconnect with that element, which is unusual for you. You also seem to be having some issues with your root chakra. You need to refocus on what it is you want and kind of, I don't want to say change your goals. I just want to say make them more defined, because they're not really defined right now. And I think that's a little bit of the issue that you're experiencing.
Yeah, it is.
You need, I mean, because you have goals. You just are looking at the big picture, and you need to look at the steps that are in between, and you're having like a slight disconnect between that.
Yeah, because I'm wanting to refocus on something. I'm in a process of wanting to like do something completely different, and that's a big thing for me because I've invested so much into other things. So that shifting.
Yeah, that's going to be hard. You're going to have to. I don't think you should change drastically. I think you should stay on the path you are. You should just more heavily define what the steps to get to the goal that you want to achieve. Yeah, Andrea, just shoot us a message and we'll we'll up with you.
That's been a big thing, and that's always a huge thing for me because I've always been one to have goals, but to have to change them up and like I have such a drastic state, or to refocus or realign into something totally away from what I was not expecting is different.
Yeah, and I know I think it's hard for some people to.
I'm stubborn.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's hard for some people to not be able to just change on a whim. Because some people are very carefree and they don't want that structure. But sometimes in our life, we all need that structure. And right now, I think we need that structure.
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes it's okay to be a little bit aloof, and it's okay to kind of go with the flow of things. But sometimes you need to just focus, and you need to have those little stepping stones to see that you're getting things done along the way. Otherwise, you just become chaotic.
You know, and I used to be that person that was like I swear to God, was wound so fucking tight that like you could literally put a penny in my ass and I could make fucking change off that penny. Like I used to be very Virgo, and my Virgo stellum. You know, like I used to be very opposite of how I am now, and very much on point, like never late.
That's what I'm talking about. Always changing.
Yeah. Oh god. And then finally my Saturnian energy suppressed and my Uranian energy hard drive, and then here I am. But yeah, going back to that structured life. God, I was I was
It's a comfort zone. When you get used to being able to adapt like that, it becomes a comfort zone to where it's more difficult to ground.
well, to go from going from being structured and like very, I guess going from being an adult to a carefree child back to I don't want to go back to being an adult.
I don't think it's quite like that, but
basically that's what it's like. Cause I swear to God, like if you would have like known me back when girls were younger and I lived in Spearfish, like oh my God, completely different Melanie. Like, but I was a lot more structured on point and very more rooted into the world today, if that makes any sense. But I was also going to school full time and also working a full time job raising 2 kids.
it does, because when you are grounded and you are, disciplining yourself, basically, you feel more, you have to adult yourself.
Yeah.
You have to discipline yourself. And I think that you can still be adaptable. You just have to find ways that you can be adaptable that aren't going to get in the way of you achieving those goals. Yeah.
Yeah, like with me, it's like I have to fully commit to one or the other, and it's like, oh God, I don't want to be an adult, but I'm gonna have to be a fucking adult.
Thanks, Roberto. And Melanie definitely does have a ton of energy.
Yeah, even on my sick days, I can have more energy. I can be really, really like deathly sick and still have more energy than the next person. Yeah.
Andrea wants the 1980s to come back. I could live without those hairstyles again. Thank you.
Yeah, those are the colors. Yeah, I wasn't totally into that either.
Yeah, I could definitely live without those hairstyles.
Now, if you go back to like Woodstock time, yeah, good. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yeah, I'm there. And my bell bottoms and my platform and my tank top. Yep.
Well, if nobody else wants a reading, we will bid you guys good night.
That was great.
Thanks for joining us. We love you all.
And we will, maybe possibly see you tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. You never know. We just might pop back on.
You never know.